Welcome back to another video. In today's video we're going to do something a little bit different from what I normally do. We're going to be analysing a pro player's VOD just to see what they do well and what makes them a good player. So today we're doing this with Spoit, who's a pro player for Shopify Rebellion, and we're going to analyse one of his last Twitch streams and just to see what he does that you can start doing as well in your games to help you improve. Now you probably don't know who I am. I'm an ex-competitive player. I played the game competitively for 6 years, and in my time as a competitive player I learned that you kind of need to always have a student mentality of where you want to try and learn from other people, and that's the best way to kind of put yourself in the best position to win. And from that you kind of have to start analysing people's games, so hopefully this gives you the incentive to start doing this for yourself on other people's games as well. Start looking at Twitch streamers and analysing what they're doing and why, and hopefully in this video I can give you some guidance of what to look for. Okie dokie, so he's on lay in this game. I haven't watched this game before, like planning to make the video, so I don't know if it's a good game for him or not. It's literally from his last Twitch stream, which was today, so I'm just going through it and analysing. So it looks like he's playing striker this round. I don't know if there's a reason for that. We'll kind of see as he goes into the game, but generally before you go into a round you need to make sure you know the idea of what you want to do on that attack. You can kind of predict where the people are going to defend after playing the game a few times, like after playing certain maps a few times you know where's the best sites to go. Him picking sentry is probably for a reason. He's probably got an idea in his mind of what he wants to do. Okay, he's changing his operator. He's on Deimos now, which is probably a bit of a comfort pick. Deimos in the right hands can be a really strong operator, and I know that Spoit likes Deimos, so that makes sense. You can see there as well, like literally the very first angle he goes to check, he jiggles it. You'll see again here. Even though like there's a low chance that they're peeking out that door, there's a possibility that they could be, so he's jiggling it just to make sure it's safe. Okay, now he's doing the same thing again. He's hash home peeking around the corner, which if you don't know is quickly proning and unproning as you peek an angle. And there's like a really broken way of peeking where all that shows is your arm and your shoulder. And he's doing that to gain information on the room that he's about to go in. This is what a lot of people do instead of droning if they don't have any drones left, or if they don't want to take the time to go sit down, set up the drone, go push in. Especially in solo queue, using jiggle peeks is a lot beneficial for you because the time it takes to get on your drone and fully drone things out. Now that he knows that his immediate room's clear, he's getting on his drone. Okay, he's predicting someone to be below, so he's checking for that just so he doesn't get C4'd because he knows the room he's going into is actually C4able. Okay, what he was doing there was he was trying to shoot the default camera. As you can will realise, a lot of pro players and a lot of good players will prioritise shooting default cameras if there's nobody there to shoot. Like there's no reason for him to shoot that camera while he's all the way back in that room. He could go into the hallway, then go around the corner and shoot the cam, but he knows the information. Like if he was to be visible in the hallway on the camera, then he knows that he's giving away a lot of information, so he's getting the camera gone as fast as he can. And there's another thing as well. As soon as he realises the diffuser's down, he instantly changes up his plan, and now he's going to head towards that. A lot of people will get tunnel visioned on their idea. They'll be like, okay, I want to push this, and they'll keep pushing that until they get right at the very end and realise I don't have the diffuser, I need to go back on myself and get the diffuser. So it's very good. He realises that the diffuser being down is a win condition for the enemy team to win the round, so he's making it his goal to try and get that diffuser back so he can have a chance of winning the round. Now it's a 4v5, 3v5 now. It's not looking like a very winnable round, but okay. What to know from that kill is he held an off angle. Him crouching deep in the hallway like that could be seen as a bad position to sit, but because it's seen as a bad position, it's not expected, and it's an off angle that got him the freebie for him. What to know from that round is jiggle peek in every corner. Make sure you get the information before you push into a room or around a corner or in somewhere. Make sure before you commit, you get the information first. Okay, it looks like he's playing Grim now. The enemies are going to be going basement. There again, literally, he's proning on a window just to shoot a default camera. He's not going to go in that window, he just wants to get rid of the camera so the enemies don't have that information. Make sure you're learning where these default cameras are from outside of the map if you can. The safest place to do it. Because now he's got rid of that camera, they've lost that information, and they don't know who shot that camera unless they're paying attention to the gun sounds. But if you shoot it in the first bullet, they can't even know that really. Let's see how he pushes in here. He droned the room so he knows the immediate room's clear, and then he goes in and starts jiggling around the corners, laying some pre-fires down. He's ready for somebody to re-swing him, so that's why he was pre-aiming with the Grim on the other door. Gonna assume the Grim before he was about to leave was just so that the enemies like don't have the information of him running away straight away because they're going to be distracted by the Grim while he starts running away. Now he knows that there was a guy in this room because they were shooting at him before when he was in the little supply. So he's ready for someone to be there. Now he's just grabbing that for information before he pushes in. Same again on site. He's making sure to get as much information as possible before he commits to anything. Okay, it's looking like a winnable round. He's proning on this angle now just to have a bit of an off angle. Because everybody kind of knows that crosshair placement, you need to be around head level, crouch level maybe. So he's proning to be a little bit off from default crosshair position level. Okay, let's go to the next round. What's he doing in the next round? He's doing the same again, getting rid of the default camera. A lot of people do this on maps like Bank as well. They get rid of like most of the default cameras from the outside. Just to get rid of as much information as possible. Because any good player can use the default cameras and get like a good amount of information. Even if they just get shot, they can like go on them, see what cameras have been shot to know where people might be. Assumes someone's behind that little box, so he's trying to nade them out. Yep, there you go, gets a freebie from that. He didn't fully know that there was a guy there because that's why he was asking, is he in that corner? But being cautious and using the nade for that got him the freebie on the position. As you can see as well, he's using a lot of utility. Utility usage is huge. There's literally no reason at all. That was just a nice shot. There's no reason at all to push into a room without any kind of using utility, because if you die pushing in, then it's all for nothing and you lose all your utility and you can't use it in the next round. But there, he's just like, let's go back and see what he does here. Okay, as you can see, he clears around the room, checking every angle possible, and then he's seen him, so he pre-fired him. And on the little like swing around pre-aim, and he gets the information. They seen him on that, so he went back pre-fired. And I don't know if he actually does this, but it seems like he goes back and pre-fires like from a different level. Like, wait, I went too far back there. It seems like he comes back and fights at like crouch level rather than standing up where he was originally swinging around. Okay, he was basically crouching anyway, but when you've been jiggling an angle, if you want to fight that angle again, it's usually good to go into it at a different elevation level. So if you're crouching when you're jiggling, then stand up, or if you're standing up, crouch. Just for like a little extra bit of chance that they don't kill you. As you can see as well, he's always gone up. He's always like ADS'd, ready for people to be somewhere. Which is like, that's unfortunate, he lost that kill. He's always gone up and ready for somebody to be there, even though there was like 3 different teammates in sight with him. He was always ready for someone else like another defender to be there. Okay, he's playing mirror on top floor. Puts that mirror for that hallway, which I like that mirror spot. I don't hate that mirror spot. It's a bit like dead once to get the wall open behind you, like the breach, but if you bind the trick in it, then it should be okay for a little bit. That was questionable from them. That was very questionable from the enemy team. He has a mirror on pocket, and I'm assuming that was because someone reinforced the wall that he wanted to put a mirror on. I don't believe he's got any plan in mind of why he's keeping a reinforcement in pocket. Oh, that was a nice shot. And that, okay. Yeah, so what makes Spoit a good player is he's just different. Apparently he's just different. He has the guy shooting outside the window, so he's going up with his teammate to try and get the freebie on him. Yeah, that was just him being different there. You can argue that he was getting the kills from the jiggling to know where people were and then pre-firing, or like just game sense to know that people could be coming in from there. But the second guy on the bottom bit, I did not expect him to be there. So, but then again, I'm not paying attention to all the cues in the game because I'm trying to make this. But now he's playing his army in the basement. Let's see where he starts putting them. He hasn't put any down yet, but what's his plan with these? It seems like he's just trying to hold warehouse, which is a good position to hold, because if you let them get into this warehouse and get this warehouse control, they can start pushing through so many different avenues to site. They can breach that wall near the Legion, they can go through the double door, they can go around behind them to that hallway behind them. There's so many different ways they can push. So having this where you can hold off all the choke points, you can hold off that door and the staircase, is very huge. Like if I'm an attacker and I see 3 people holding warehouse like this, I'm rotating to the other way just because there's no way I'm pushing into that. Okay, so it seems like he didn't have a set plan of these armies of where he wanted to put them. So now he's kind of using them on the fly to give himself positions to play, which I don't hate that idea. As you can see though, like throughout this and like every other round, he's always gone up. If I skip back, every time he's like there's a possibility of him being shot, he's always gone up on the angle. Here he's gone up when he swings. He's gone up on there. Like he's very rarely not going around a corner without being like ADS'd, gone up ready. He's always just seems to be like prepared for someone to be there, prepared for a fight. He heard the window behind him, that's how he knew there was a guy in there behind him. And he's gone up ready for that. He crouches to have a little bit of an off angle, like a little bit of an unexpected peek. He heard the guy up there, so he's ready for that. So literally, as you can see, he's always gone up. He's always ready for someone to be there. And he's always doing like things that make it so he's in an advantageous situation. Like the first round, jiggling around every corner before he goes in, realizing the enemies have a win condition and dropping the diffuser, so he goes to go grab it. Realizing that if he dies with the utility in his pocket, then he's not going to take that through to the next round and he's just dying for nothing. So he goes around throwing his utility to make sure that like he has every advantage possible in the fight. Using his nades to clear out positions if he's unsure of it being clear or not. A lot of people would just go straight in where that warden was and just try and hope that nobody's there, or like try and just guess that, okay, there's nobody sitting there, and then they would die because of that. But he was like using due diligence, threw a nade there to make sure it was clear, then went in. So that's kind of like the difference between really good players and okay players, is they never leave anything to chance. They like make sure they use every tool that they have. They use all the utility. They're always ready for fights. They're always changing up their positioning, like head level. Like so he starts jiggling, standing up, then he crouches, starts jiggling, or like crouches to commit to a fight. And in that game he ended up going 9-2 just off keeping fundamentals. There was nothing like there was only that one round where he kind of went crazy. Like there was nothing. He didn't do anything really out of the box. Everything was kind of fundamental, jiggling, using utility, being ready for fights, all the basics that you need, making sure default cams are shot. All the basics were down, and it made it such an easy game for him. Like that did not look like a hard game at all for him because he has all the basics mastered. That's all for this video. If you enjoyed, drop a like and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.